What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 40 of our Cincinnati Reds franchise. I almost said Cincinnati Bengals because that was just a recent upload. So happy Monday. It is Monday. I know Mondays are not very fun, but I try to post the Reds stuff on a Monday and a Friday because they're shoulder days, right? You're just coming off a weekend, Mondays, dragging, get the Reds going. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. And then Fridays, you head into the weekend, you're like, oh, this is hype, right? This is lit, as you guys would say. I know, right? I'm not of the younger millennial generation, so guys, I don't use these words. Where does this lingo come from? Lit, fire, all that jazz. Anyway, so guys, Reds. Check us out. 84-61, 6.5 games ahead of the Cardinals, 7 games ahead of the Cubs. So the Cubs are starting to slide a little bit. I guess, maybe. I mean, we were at one point 11 games above the second place team, which was the Cubs, Brewers, and now it's the Cardinals. And honestly, they're starting to catch us a little bit. So 6.5 games is nothing to scoff at. We are in September, and honestly, we've got a big series against them here. We got 2 more games. We got Castillo against McCollus and Disco against Luke Weaver. And then look at this. Justin Nicolino got the win. So you guys might be thinking, like, how is Justin Nicolino on this roster? Well, because we ended up making the September call-ups. So I did simulate past when we last left off with the Reds, and you guys will see some familiar names there. We got Aquino, and I'll show you guys the list of guys that we ended up calling up. But let's take a look at who pitched this game. Tyler Mahle, yeah, he had 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, 7 innings strong again, and he's holding it down, guys. 2.89 now. So after that terrible start against the Rockies, he's starting to pick it up a lot. And then we put Nicolino in the game. It must have been tied, and then we got the win. Yeah, it was tied. It's a 1-0 win, so we won it in the top of the 9th, and then Lorenzen came on and got the save. So I ended up switching the roles, I think, because through the simulation we ended up having, I don't know, maybe the CPU changed this, but Lorenzen is now the setup, Hand is the closer. And if you guys look between the two of them, 31 saves for Brad Hand, and then we've got 36 saves for Lorenzen. And Brad Hand, I hope that he learned a little bit how to pitch in Great American Ballpark, because he gave up that big home run to Addison Russell. Not that when he was put on into that game that anything was gonna change. I mean, we were gonna lose that game, so I can't really fault him too hard for giving that home run up. But you guys can see some numbers here, updated numbers. Castillo 13-10, 183 Ks, 3-1 with a 1.22. Disco 3-6 with a 1.3, so not terrible for a true number 3 starter. Kendall Graveman, these are Kendall Graveman-esque type of numbers, but the win totals really solid, 12-9. So I like to see that out of our number 3 guy. Number 4, Sauermantel, 3.94, and then Tyler Mahle in that 5 spot, holding it down, guys. So he's starting to up himself in his overall rating. He's a 75 now. We can check out his attributes going skyrocketing up. So I like where Tyler Mahle is. I hope that he becomes our number 5 guy in the future. Maybe he progresses more than Sauermantel, and then, you know, maybe we have to make a move. Maybe we have to trade away DeSclafani. Maybe we have to make room. Maybe we have to trade away Kendall Graveman, or maybe we keep Graveman next season. So we'll have to see how that all pans out. But Brandon Finnegan, there's his numbers. These numbers for Ryan Yarbrough, like I said, guys, I called everybody up as for September call-ups. Now I'm showing you guys who ended up getting the call before we get into some gameplay. This is his stat line when he was a Tampa Bay Ray. So obviously he's got 99 innings pitched in total for 2019. So this is not what he's done for us. When he was down in the minor leagues, he was having I think he had a low 2 ERA, and I think probably like 11 plus innings. So he was pitching really good. And now that we gave him the September call-up, I hope that when the playoff rosters are set, that, you know, he's pitched well enough to for him to stay up here. Nicolino, got to give him the call-up. There's Amir Garrett's numbers. Bryce, Crockett, Weiss, Leclerc, I mean, our bullpen and our pitching staff has definitely been a strength for us all season long. We ended up giving Hunter Green the call, and honestly, I did this because he's on our 40-man, and we get the ability to have 40 men on the September roster, so why not, right? I know, I get it, he's 19, but let's try to get him some more appearances than he had when he was 18. I think that he's ready to make that leap. I hope that he gets better, though. He was injured down in Dayton. I think he's missing the entirety of the regular season down there. So hopefully that injury in his elbow is nothing serious. It's either elbow or forearm. So obviously when you got guys that are throwing that hard, that's going to happen. Matt Harvey gave him the call up. He wasn't pitching amazing down in AAA, but he was pitching good enough to get the call. Jared Hughes is back in the major leagues, and again, those numbers on the left side are what he did in the major leagues when he was up with us, but that doesn't mean that that's what's current, so he might be able to pick it back up again. Daniel Wright pitched really good down in AAA, so hopefully get him going. Chris Rodriguez, our acquired player from the Angels, was pitching decent down in Triple or Double A. I would have liked to see him do a little bit better, but definitely got that B potential. 20 years old and a 68. Let's get him into some low leverage situations and see how he does. As far as the lineup goes, we gave the call up to Tyler Stevenson, who had been raking down in AAA. Pavin Smith as well. He had about 21 home runs, 80 some odd RBIs. Dilson Herrera gets the call. Defoe gets the call. Trammell gets the call. Aquino gets the call. Blandino. You guys can kind of get the drift here. And take a look. So Trammell actually got some playing time while we were doing some simulation here. And he's hitting 364 and 11 at-bats. So I like what I'm seeing from this guy, Taylor Trammell. He's going to be a player, man. So he was 4 of 11 right now, 2 runs scored. The OBP, 462. He's got a walk and a double. I like it. I like it a lot. So I want to get these guys into some gameplay down the stretch here, so you guys know what you're looking at possibly for the future, because I want to see what Taylor Trammell is going to do up here in this level, because I know for a fact that if he performs for us in this second half, well, in this last month, and Billy Hamilton's probably not coming back, guys, for next year, and that's strictly because I don't want to pay him more than $5 million for next season or for an elongated period of time. I'd rather get Taylor Trammell, a 21-year-old player, into that role, even though they are 13 overall points different, and I know that Hamilton plays a better defense out there in center field, but Taylor Trammell's got a ton of room to grow. A potential versus B potential for a guy that's 28, right? So it just makes sense. Senzel's numbers, 250, so that's about where he should probably be. He's starting to get a little bit more playing time because Peraza has definitely fallen off a cliff as far as his production goes. Votto's still killing it, 30 home runs. Check this out, 30, 32, 30. We have 92 home runs in the middle of our order. Now, if you want to count Scooter, he's got 22, and then the power just kind of drops off. And here's Jesse Winker, he's got 14, so he's holding his own. He's just an average guy, he's going to hit your home runs every now and then. But Culberson, I probably would have considered dropping him to AAA, but he's pretty valuable still for us at this level. 13 home runs, even though he's hitting 227, he's still valuable against left-handers. Jesse Winker probably should be playing against right-handers, and he is. Okay, so Taylor Trammell is only batting left-handed pitchers, no designated hitter, strictly because Culberson is struggling, and I'd rather give Trammell some at-bats. Now, he probably will get some at-bats against right-handers, but I wanted to work him in kind of slowly. But you guys will see some of these guys in action. I will probably do some quick cuts, because the thing is we are in a pretty tight race, and you want to be careful about when you're putting guys who've never been up to the big show into certain situations that could possibly lose you some games. Now, we're 4-6 in our last 10, but hopefully we'll change that here against the Cardinals and McCollus, and hopefully we get that fixed against the Cubs as well. we got a long way to go in September, and I just hope that everything's going to pan out. Now, if we tend to fall off a cliff, I'm kind of obsessed with that analogy today. The National League wild card sets up to where the Cardinals and the Cubs are fighting for that. Depends on what the Giants are going to do if they get hot, or the Brewers, but this National League Central, look at this, Cardinals, Cubs, Brewers, right? If you throw us into that mix, it's going to get even more complicated, and that's something I just really don't want to deal with right now. Like, we should just really take care of business, as I guess you would say. So I wanted to give you guys a minor league update, but it is playoff time for the minor league level, and it's kind of a weird situation, right? We get into September, so I think September 4th is when you get your September call-ups. And then if your team is in the playoffs for the minor leagues, well, that's kind of a problem, because now you're just stealing all of the minor league players, your top talent guys, and they're in the midst of a playoff run. So obviously that kind of sucks. But let's get into some gameplay, guys. Reds and Cardinals, Castillo against McCullers. All right, guys, let's get right into this one. 84-61 Cincinnati Reds against the 77-67 St. Louis Cardinals in Busch Stadium. It's going to be a tough one because we have Miles Mikolas or Mikolas. I was actually calling his last name McCullers, which is apparently incorrect. So apologies about that in the first part of the video. But he's definitely a crafty right-handed pitcher. Not going to overpower you with anything. But, you know, he hits his spots and he hits them well, and he's going to get you uncomfortable up there in the batter's box, and it's going to be a tough one for our Cincinnati Reds here to beat this Cardinals team on the road. So he's definitely going to give us a tough test. As you guys can see, that we are 3 up and 3 down. So we're looking to Luis Castillo, our best pitcher on the staff right now, to lead us to yet again another victory, as this team is starting to scuffle down the stretch, and this is not how we want to lead this one off already, as Mikolas led us off with 1-2-3, and now DeYoung is going to lead the Cardinals off with a base hit. Now Greg Garcia is going to get a walk on a 3-1 pitch. So Castillo struggling a little bit. Now we got Matt Carpenter, luckily, swing and a miss on that slider. Here is powerful Jed Jerko up, and he is also going to walk. So Luis Castillo is struggling right now with his control. So it's bases loaded right now in the bottom of the first inning with nobody you want to mess with, Marcell Ozuna. But look at this play by Suarez and Jeanette. Can they turn two? They cannot. Good throw across the diamond, but unable to turn it. Unable to turn this double play. It's the only play that Suarez had. He could have gotten the runner at first, but I think that runner at second was probably more important. I think all of you guys would agree. You don't want to leave people in scoring position when you know you could have gotten them out, but Castillo strikes out the batter there, so we are able to, that was Harrison Bader, we're able to get out of that inning. I wouldn't say unscathed, but the damage was limited for sure. So we see Scooter Gennett flying out there to Dexter Fowler, and then look at Paul DeYoung yet again, up again, and he's going to get another hit. Schebler misplays the ball, as he thought that it was kind of in a weird spot. He thought that it might have like bounced right to him, but it bounced away to his left, and now DeYoung is going to get in with a triple. So another leadoff hit for the Cardinals, and then here is Matt Carpenter with 1 down, and he's going to get this run in as a sacrifice fly. So it's now 2-0 here early on in this game, and you know, Castillo's not pitching too bad. He's not pitching too bad. He's pitching to contact. He's getting a couple strikeouts every now and then. You know, he's doing fine. It's just those extra base hits and those walks that he's got to limit. You can't allow those to beat you. As we see, Senzel strikes out in a high and inside fastball. He thought he could get to it. It looked pretty juicy. And then here we got a strikeout by Eugenio Suarez. Going to swing and a miss at a slider low. So let's go to the next inning here with Schebler up to bat, and he's going to lead us off here with a nice single to right field past second base and first base. So good way to lead us off here. Here's Tucker Barnhart. He's going to ground out into a double play. That's Carpenter back to shortstop, back to first, And guys, Cardinals fans are loving it right now, but we are just unable to get anything going against Mikolas right now. So we see that we got 2 strikeouts here, one on Mikolas, one on Jerko, and then we got another fly out. So I wouldn't really call that a fly out. I'd probably call that a pop out. So we are up with Castillo now up at bat, and he is going to get a single as Dexter Fowler is unable to dive for it and make a nice catch. So the pitcher is helping himself out. He's saying, guys, if you can't do it for me, I'm definitely going to try to help my own cause here. So Winker gets on with a base hit now. So now we got 2 runners on with 1 down. We got Nick Senzel up to the plate, and he's going to swing and drive a pitch back to first base. And look at this. Almost beats it out, but a double play will be turned. Unbelievable, guys. So I'm not sure what else that we have to do. I mean, Senzel hit the ball hard, but right at first base. You know, pretty interesting because Winker stopped. He thought that he caught it on the line because that was a line drive shot. He actually let it bounce. It was a very smart play by him. He let it bounce, and then therefore he could turn the double play. If it was a line drive out, he probably could not have turned a double play. He probably would have had to tag the runner on first, which was Winker, and that's probably a more difficult play than trying to turn a double play. So we can see that Castillo shut down the Cardinals yet again. He's only allowed 2 hits up to this point. Let's go to the top of the 7th, and now finally we're starting to try to get some things going here as Suarez leads us off here with a double. Actually, not a leadoff because there was 1 down, but he does get a double. And look at Schebler going deep. Is gonna have enough? It is. Big Busch for Scott Schebler. That's a big time Busch, guys. You got to give me that one. 2-2 in the top of the 7th. Better late than never, because now Mikolas is going to be, or gosh dang, Mikolas is going to be exiting this game here. And now we've got Jack Flaherty is coming on in relief, whose numbers, he must have been a 40-man September call-up, because now, I mean, he's got 3 games right now, and he hasn't been piling up the stats. So I can assume that that's what his role was. But look at Jeanette, rounding second, head to third, 44 speed. He was chugging all the way, and that's a really aggressive move there to get into third base with 1 down, as we got Tucker Barnhart up, who is going to be able to get the job done and get that run in. Now, if this was a team effort, guys, right here, because if Jeanette stops at second base, if he doesn't chug, if he doesn't get on his horse, then, you know, it might not be a 3-2 ball game. It's probably still could have been a 2-2 game. So let's go to the top of the 8th here, and we still got Jack Flaherty on the mound, and look at Senzel. Go, get legs, stretch. He's going to get over the Nike sign, baby. Just do it. Just extend that lead. Get that insurance run off of Jack Flaherty and these Cardinals, and we do. So it's going to be 4-2. Doug Brocail likes that. The Reds team loves that. I know you guys love that. So now we got Jose Leclerc. We can turn it to the back end of our bullpen here, and he is going to get a little pop out to Jeanette for the 2nd out. And Leclerc's been pretty good for us all season long. So this Rule 5 pick, the Texas Rangers didn't really know what they were doing, right? But we're going to take advantage of that. So Scott Schebler grabs this line drive for an out. Now we're going to go with Brad Hand to shut these Cardinals down. 2-2 count on Greg Garcia. He's going to stare it down and watch it for strike 3. So now we've got, I forgot who that was. I think that was Carpenter. That might be Carpenter. He's going to fly out to left field there. And then now we've got Jed Jerko up, and Tucker Barnhart is going to make the play. So guys, the Cincinnati Reds have won this baseball game against kind of a little bit of adversity there, right? It didn't seem like they had it on offense, even though Castillo was pitching really, really good. You guys know that Billy Hamilton didn't do anything because he didn't show up in the highlight reel. But good job by the Reds today. Pitching staff came through, back into the bullpen. Brad Hand came through. Again, a team effort. Nick Senzel had that solo home runs. Schebler, that 2-run shot. And then obviously Barnhart and Jeanette to team up on that sac fly and the hustle. So guys, leave a like if you like this thing. I will see you guys on Friday. Happy Monday, of course. And as always, peace.